Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. You're not stuck because you don't know what to do. You're stuck because you keep overthinking and think you already know. Your gut has been whispering the answers for weeks, maybe months, but anxiety keeps screaming louder. And so you spiral, you reanalyze, you ask for more opinions, you wait for a sign. But here's what I learned the hard way. Your gut whispers, anxiety screams. And if you don't learn the difference, you'll keep making decisions from fear instead of clarity. So today, I'm going to show you how to stop overthinking without ignoring the one voice that actually is trying to help you. I'm Patty the Connector, the problem solver queen. And what I care about is helping people move smarter, not harder. In the last episode, we talked about trusting the process when you can't see the outcome, about how faith grounds you inside uncertainty. But today, we're talking about something that trips people up before they even get to the process, overthinking. And specifically, how to tell the difference between your gut and your anxiety. Because here's what I used to believe. I thought my gut was unreliable. I thought overthinking meant I was being careful. I thought more thinking would lead to better decisions. But what I learned after rebuilding my entire life by learning to trust my gut over my fear is this. Overthinking isn't careful, it's paralysis. And your gut, it's been telling you the truth the whole time. So today, I'm going to share how I learned to stop second guessing myself and how to rebuild self-trust and the exact framework I use to tell the difference between gut and anxiety. And I'm going to give you 3 things you can do today to stop overthinking without ignoring what you actually know. So let me give you 2 examples from my own life. Around the same time, I had to make 2 of the hardest decisions I ever made. The first decision, my gut told me to leave my marriage. Yeah. And anxiety said, but y'all have 2 kids, just stay. My second decision, my gut told me to leave my job. I was working what felt like 100 hours a week, barely making ends meet at $40,000 a year. I was ready to soar and make my first 6 figures, but anxiety said, well, where you gonna go? All you know is this job ain't it. But here's the thing, these 2 decisions happened around the same time, so I had to make a choice. Trust the quiet voice that was telling me it's time to move, or listen to the loud voice that was telling me to stay comfortable. I chose my gut. I left the marriage, I left the job. And in that same year, I went from making $40,000 to $108,000. That sounds like you gotta take this $1 million to make another $1 million. But there were 2 hard decisions and the best decisions of my life. But here's what I want you to understand. I didn't make those decisions because I had all the answers. I made them because I learned to tell the difference between my gut and my anxiety, and that changed everything. Your gut whispers, anxiety screams. So how do you actually tell the difference? Here's the framework that works for me every single time. The answer that comes first and stays quiet, that's your gut. The answer that gets louder the more you think about it, that's fear. So let me say that again. Your gut whispers. It shows up calm. It shows up consistent. It doesn't need to convince you. It just knows. Anxiety screams. It gets louder. It spirals. It keeps giving you new reasons to doubt. It keeps changing the story. And here's the tricky part. Usually, your gut is right when you think it's wrong, because your gut would tell you to do the uncomfortable thing that requires you to change, the thing that requires you to trust yourself. And anxiety would tell you, stay safe, stay comfortable. Stay where you are. So if you're trying to talk yourself out of something, that's probably your gut. And if you're trying to talk yourself into something, that's probably anxiety. If it's quiet and consistent, trust it, even if it feels wrong. All right, so let's make this practical. You know, I got you. I'm going to give you 3 things you can do today to stop overthinking without ignoring your gut. The first thing is, notice the first answer before you spiral, before you ask 5 more people, before you Google it for the 10th time. What was your first answer? That's usually your gut. And the problem is most people dismiss the first answer because it feels too simple or too uncomfortable or too risky. So they keep thinking. And the more they think, the more confused they get. So today, try this. Ask yourself the question. You've been overthinking. Notice the first answer that comes up. Write it down. And then ask yourself, am I trying to talk myself out of this answer, or am I genuinely unsure? If you're trying to talk yourself out of it, that's your gut. Trust it. Now, the second thing I want you to do is ask yourself, is this getting louder or staying quiet? This one is so simple, but it works every time. When you're stuck between 2 choices, pay attention to how the options show up in your mind. Is one option quiet? Does it just sit there calmly? Does it feel steady even though it's uncomfortable? Does it not need to explain itself? That's your gut. And your gut doesn't need to be loud because it already knows. Anxiety is loud because it's trying to protect you from discomfort. So pay attention to the volume. The loudest option isn't always the right one. Sometimes the quietest voice is the one telling the truth. The third thing I want you to do is set a decision deadline. Here's the thing about overthinking. It will go on forever if you let it. So you have to interrupt it. Pick a deadline. Not when I feel ready. Not when I have all the information. A real date. I would decide by Friday. I would make this call by the end of the week. I would start reanalyzing this by Monday. And here's what happens. When you set a deadline, you force yourself to commit to a quiet answer because you can't keep spiraling if there's a finish line. So today, pick one decision you've been overthinking, set a deadline, and commit to trusting the first quiet answer that came up, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you're not 100% sure, because here's the truth, you'll never be 100% sure, but you can be grounded enough to trust yourself anyway. What do you have to lose? You have everything to gain. So here's what I want you to take from this. Overthinking isn't protecting you. It's keeping you stuck. Your gut has been whispering the answer this whole time, but you've been so focused on the loud voice that you've been ignoring the quiet one. Stop waiting for certainty. Stop asking for one more opinion. Start reanalyzing the thing you already know. Trust the whisper, quiet the scream, and watch how fast things start moving when you do. That's how grown people move. I want you to leave this episode with clarity, not pressure. You don't have to fix everything at once. You just need to stop overthinking the one decision you already know you need to make. I created a free guide for you. It's called the Self-Trust Reset, Rebuilding Internal Authority. It'll show you how to rebuild self-trust so you can make decisions faster and with more confidence. The link is below. And before I go, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for trusting me with these conversations. And thank you to everyone who shared these episodes with someone who needs them. If this conversation helped you feel clearer or gave you permission to trust yourself again, stay with me. This channel is built intentionally. Each episode stacks on the last. And if you keep showing up for this work, I'll keep showing up to do it with you. I'll see you on the next one.